Welcome to Career Uprising. I'm your host and professional career coach, Lorraine Rise. Join me as I guide you through an amazing journey of self-discovery and empowerment. If you are looking for work, changing careers, or stuck in a toxic job, then this is the show for you. I offer both practical and spiritual guidance to help you up-level and advance your career. Let's start the uprising. Hey everybody, you are listening to episode 36, Make More Money, Part 1. Hello everyone, I'm back. How are you doing? My beautiful listeners, I had such a good day today. I got to do a guest spot on another show on this network that was so much fun. And today was just one of those days where I don't know, I had so much fun. I was in the flow and I just kind of pinched myself going, wow, this is my job. I love my life. I love my job. I love doing this show. And oh my goodness, I just had one of those moments. So I want you to have those moments too. That's what this show is all about. So if you don't know me, I'm Lorraine Rise, and this is my humble little show where we talk about everything from, what we love, what we hate, what's easy, what's hard. It's all related to our careers, changing careers, job searching, interviewing, finding what you're good at, all of those things. So thank you for joining me on this journey. And what we're going to talk about today actually is not really a departure. Certainly it's about your career, but it's not about looking for work or anything like that. We're going to talk about money. And I've actually broken this into two shows because I think it's a big topic. And I know that it's one that a lot of us struggle with, and something that I used to struggle with absolutely all through my 20s and going into my 30s a little bit. It was a big goal of mine to make a good income and do more than just get by, more than just paycheck to paycheck. And that was what I had known growing up. And then again, in college and even beyond college for a while. So, but not anymore. I've really mastered, well, I'm not going to say mastered. I'm sure there's other levels that I can get to, but I've made great progress, I will say, in mastering my mindset around money. And the thing is, everybody out there wants to make more money, I think. I don't know if there's a person out there except those who are already multimillionaires who, want to make more money. I think this is a goal that we all have. But here's the thing. So few of us actually know how to do it. And I mean how to create and sustain real abundant income. More than just getting by, more than just settling for whatever your paycheck is every 2 weeks and showing up to work and doing the minimum. I mean, really creating money and knowing that should a crisis or a setback happen, a health concern or something where maybe you're out of work, something like that, that money's still going to be there for you, right? You're not one paycheck away from a disaster, which is actually how most of us are living. So making more money is one of the most common, I think, problems that people come to, maybe a life coach or somebody like that for. And it's one of the biggest things people try to change when they are manifesting something new in their life. And right now, too, being the new year, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who have New Year's resolutions to make more money and that kind of thing. But the thing is, if we limit our mindset to we just have what our employer pays us, well, then we're pretty much capped right there, right? And we fall short of what we're worth and what we could potentially make if we see that potential. You're really only capped by your thinking. So I'm going to challenge you today and in the next episode, because this is going to be a 2-part series, to open your mind to the idea that financial success has virtually nothing to do with what you do for a living and more to do with what you believe about money. All right. And I have never believed this more than I do now, because now I'm in a position where I'm not working for an employer anymore. I'm not just getting, that regular automatic paycheck. In working for myself, I've had to learn how to create money from the ground up where it didn't exist. It was not automatically given to me just by showing up, right? Now I have to go out there and constantly find more clients. And that's a completely different situation and different mindset, but one that has made me better. And it's deeply, deeply changed what I believe about money. And I've been able to make more money the last several years working for myself than I ever did for an employer. So it's working. Clearly, what I'm believing and the choices that I'm making now are definitely working for me. And the good news is you can change it too. Okay. So that's what you're going to learn today and in the rest of this series, how I radically changed my own beliefs about money and therefore changed my financial circumstances, and how you can do it too. So we're going to explore what kind of relationship you have with money. And like I said, I'll share a little bit more with you about my journey and what I had to overcome, how I got out of that mindset, and how you can do it too. So you can start manifesting more money in your career now in 2019. Okay. All right. So let's dig right into it. We got a big topic. So let's go right for it. So why do we even chase money in the first place? And we chase it. Okay. Let's be real. Well, you're chasing it. Okay. And there's a big distinction to make, because there's a difference between chasing money and constantly following after it and trying to find it, and allowing it in and attracting it into your life. Two totally different things. But why is this so important to us? Well, we've linked money with security. We've linked money with feeling safe. We've linked money with happiness and getting the things that we want in life. That's what we equate it with. A bigger house, traveling, retirement, and so on. And what's really significant here, though, is that it's not actually about the money, right? It's not. If money was just money, you wouldn't care. Money is a means to an end. It's about a quality of life. And yes, it can be about security. How about freedom? Money to me is about freedom, being able to travel and do what I want with my time, right? Money means different things to different people, but ultimately it's about quality of life. There's some way that this money, you believe, is going to elevate you and help you to live a better life. So when you chase money, you're actually just chasing some kind of freedom or better life. All right. And your money story, as I'll call it, because you have a story and a belief around money, you do. It starts as a child. It does. I mean, I hate to have to take you back to the whole inner child thing, but it's absolutely true. It's so much deeper than you think. And I've spent a great deal of time over the last couple of years, especially as I've been an entrepreneur, having to go out and find my own money all over again, of examining my own money story. That, of course, goes back to my childhood as well. And unfortunately, many of us, what's modeled for us and what we see is growing up believing that money's scarce and we're living paycheck to paycheck and we're just getting by and money doesn't grow on trees and all these things that we hear. And they're stories. They're just stories that somebody adopted and then they raised you with it. Well, what happens though is that we carry this belief into adulthood so much then that it shapes our expectations about, what we think we deserve and what's, quote, realistic. We love to throw that term around, right? Oh, it's not realistic that I would make more than that in this job, or that I could find a higher paying job, or that they'd give me a raise. We throw that word around a lot, and to our own detriment completely. It's really one of the most damaging words I think that you could have in your vocabulary, because it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And this was certainly the case for me. I grew up by very modest means, which I think has a lot of benefits. There's a lot of good things about growing up with just what you need, and not getting distracted by all the extra stuff. So I have no regrets, but because I think that that can do a lot for your character. But the downside of it is that I realized when I got into adulthood that I had a great deal of work to do, inner work, in kind of peeling back all those layers and questioning the story that I grew up with that, oh, we got to wait till we get paid for that. We can't get that right now. We got to wait until payday. Again, everything revolved around payday, right? So what I learned though when I became an adult is that money is only difficult to make if that's what you believe. And it's easy to make if that's what you believe. The belief changes everything. So I've spent a great deal of time changing my beliefs. And let me tell you, that's not an overnight process. It's been years and it's still continuing. It's still continuing within me. And what I did was I kind of consciously and purposefully really began to think differently and question the beliefs that I grew up with. Were they really true, or were they just what was modeled for me? Because just because someone else is modeling for something for you doesn't mean it's true. Even your parents. I give you permission to question your parents. And my daughter will do the same. She is welcome when she gets older to question anything that I may have taught her or modeled for her. I won't be able to stop her if she wants to, right? That's okay. It just means that somebody else had it modeled for them. They adopted it as true, passed it along to you. So where does the cycle end? Well, anytime you want with you, it can. You're the only one who can put an end to this madness and choose a new belief about money or anything in your life. Apply this to your career, to anything that you want. So here's the first thing I think that I would recommend. Take a look around and notice people who are very successful, financially. There are plenty of millionaires and billionaires out there, okay? It's obviously possible to make a lot of money. The proof exists. The proof is there. Don't look for proof. Okay, rich people are real. They're not a myth. Okay? So I think you knew that, but the question is, what's the difference? What's the difference between them and you? Why them, not you? Well, here's where I think that you and I have been wrong up until now. Up until now, you've probably thought that they were smarter or luckier or had an inheritance or just were lucky enough to come up with some brilliant invention or something like that. Maybe. Okay. That's a big maybe. The only actual difference, though, between you and other people who are more successful is what they believe about money, and what they think is possible, and the amount of action that they are willing to take to get there and to reach their goals. That is the only difference between you and the wealthiest, most successful people. I remember having that same problem early in my career. I was in sales, and I would always see the regional managers and my bosses come in, and they would just knock it out. They just would close every sale. And it frustrated me. And I always remember thinking, well, that's them. They're just good at it, right? Or they've just been doing it longer. And one day I just stopped buying it. And I just realized, why am I always putting the success outside of myself? What is really special or different about them? Maybe I can be like them. Maybe instead of envying them, maybe I should just try and be more like them. So there was just an awareness that I had that I was always projecting success in my 20s outside of myself, that other people were better at closing sales than I was. And that was a game changer when I changed that belief. Okay, so this is a good stopping point. Let's take a quick commercial break. We will be back in just about 2 minutes. And when we do, I have some good concrete ideas for how you can turn this wheel around and start changing your mindset and your circumstances around money today. Okay, we'll be right back. Hey everyone, while the show takes a short break, I want to let you know about a book that I recently wrote. That's right, a book. It's called Career Uprising. Unlock your potential and advance your career. And it walks you through how to bring about massive change in your career. And I'm talking about real, lasting change at the deepest levels. You'll learn more about my own career journey and the exact techniques that I have used to create my own success. So if you want to make a big move in your career, but you don't know how, or don't think that you have the courage, go to Amazon.com and purchase the book. It's called Career Uprising, Unlock Your Potential and Advance Your Career. And it's an ebook, so you'll be able to download it through the free Amazon Kindle app and start reading it instantly. And I've priced it very low cost, so you have nothing to lose. I know that you will get massive value from it. All right, let's get back to the show. And just like that, we are back, guys. We are talking about money. This is my Make More Money series, part 1. Okay, so let's kind of get through this here. I've got 3 ideas and 3 tips for you for how you can start changing your mindset around money, because that is always the starting point. In order to build true wealth, you have to have a wealth mindset. You're never going to manifest anything in your life that you don't truly deep down believe is not only possible, but realistic and likely. Okay? Let that one sink in for a minute. You won't manifest anything, money or otherwise, a new job, anything that you don't believe is possible and realistic and likely, and it's going to happen. So, but like I said, unfortunately, we don't grow up thinking that, right? Sometimes we grow up believing that money's scarce and we really don't have this constructive relationship with money. You've probably never been taught that, okay? So we're changing that today. All right, so to jumpstart the thought process for you here, I'm going to share some of the top 3 mistakes, many of which I've made myself that people make when thinking about money. Okay. Number 1, feeling envious of another person's success. I fell prey to this so much when I was younger in my 20s. And I think I kind of just shared a little bit of a story about that. But I want you to take notice of this. Do you ever feel even just a little bit envious when you see other people making more money or just having more success than you in any area of life? Do you automatically assume, well, they must be smarter or luckier or more privileged or more whatever, blah, 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 right? So, I want you to consider that mentality is actually going to hurt you. That you shouldn't envy someone else. Don't envy other people, emulate them. Don't envy them, emulate them. Do more of what they are doing. You could do it your way, but rather than envying someone and feeling like, well, why do they have that and I don't? Well, think about, well, why can't we both have it? Right? I mean, that's how I would think. Why do you need to feel bad that somebody has something that you don't? Because you can have it too. And here it is being modeled for you. Why don't you ask yourself, I wonder what they're doing differently. What are they thinking about differently? What decisions are they making differently? What actions are they take differently than me? Maybe I need to do that. Okay. Don't feel envious of other people. Jump in, join them, learn something from them. Right. Okay. Number 2, not wanting to part with your money. So here's a little exercise that you can do. For the next 48 hours, I want you to take notice of any opportunities that you have to part with your money. Okay? So are you reluctant, for example, when you send off a payment for a bill? Do you pass up opportunities to donate to charity thinking you can't afford it? Do you not purchase something that you want and tell yourself you can't afford it? It's too expensive. Oh, I can't shop at that store, anything like that. If you aren't willing to let go of your money, it sends a clear, strong message to the universe that you are afraid that you don't have enough and you won't get more. And that is exactly what will happen. It's exactly what will happen. Your actions speak volumes about your beliefs. And it's your actions and your beliefs that will determine your results. I expand on this a lot more in my book that I recently wrote that you can get on Amazon. I announced that if you missed it last episode. It's called Career Uprising, Unlock Your Potential and Advance Your Career. You can get it on Amazon, and this is what I talk about, how you need to change your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, your expectations. When you line all of those up, all those ducks lined up in a row, watch your life change. Okay. So number 3, believing that a regular 9-to-5 job is the only way to make money. I definitely used to believe this. And then I woke up and realized that there were plenty of people out there in the world who worked for themselves and that it really wasn't that abnormal. And clearly it was possible because other people were doing it, right? So I definitely fell into that trap, but I woke up from that dream and now I realize that that is not true at all. If that were true, no one would ever work for themselves. No one would have ever started a business. And look at how many people have businesses, large and small. So we know that's not true, right? I'm living proof of it. But I had to let go of the belief before the proof would come in my own life. That's what you have to do. You have to be willing to believe before you see the proof, before it actually happens. It will never happen the other way around. The only things that happen are the things that you believe. So you've probably got the equation backwards. But I used to just show up to work, get an automatic paycheck, and it sounds nice and it sounds comfy and that's fine. But be careful you don't fall into a mental rut thinking that you're capped and you're limited to that income only. And in part 2 of this series, we're going to explore that a little bit more and talk about what are some of the other avenues that money could come into your life. Why doesn't it have to only be a 9-to-5 job? What else can you do to make money, right? So stick around for the second episode because we will go into that. But this episode is mostly about you creating a massive shift in your thinking so that you will believe me when I give you other ideas about how money can come into your life. But the thinking is always the foundation of it. I promise you. Okay. So like I said, this is just part 1. There's more we could do because this is such a meaty topic and one that people struggle with so much. And if you feel like you really want more help with this, I would really honestly encourage you to get my ebook. It's $6, super cheap, but it covers all of this. We go into so much more detail about this whole process. I basically walk you through it of how you can change virtually any belief in your life for astonishing results. So that's just one more tool that you have in your toolbox there. But it's kind of short and sweet. That's it, guys, for episode 36. I'm going to be back next week with the second installment. So make sure you listen to that. And if you have a career question that you would like answered about anything related to money, job searching, changing careers, anything like that, I'd love to know. Email me at Lorraine@careeruprising.com. You will get your question answered on the air. Hey, no charge, free advice, right? If you're feeling really brave, you can take the next step and actually come on the show with me and I'll coach you live on the air. That would be really cool. But if you're more shy, you can just send it to me by email and I'll pull it out of the mailbag, whatever you prefer. But that's it. I got to wrap it up. All right. Until next time, go out there, be brave, be magnificent, and I will talk to you guys next time. That's it for today's show. Thank you so much for listening. If you like what you heard today, please consider giving the show a positive review on iTunes. It would mean a lot to me, and it would help to spread the word so that others can learn about the show. Thanks again for tuning in, and I can't wait to connect with you again next time on Career Uprising.
This show is brought to you by InflowRadio.com, the best curated talk radio network for personal development, wellness, spirituality, and conscious business.